We often confuse visibility with credibility or admiration for influence. But trust isn't about being impressive. It's actually about being safe to believe. And that's what I want to explore here, the real architecture of trust, that elusive term, and why there's one piece of it, one layer that matters more than all the others. And it's probably not what anyone ever thinks. Everyone has great answers when I ask this question. And a lot of them do create, most of them always are very good and do are elements that can create trust. But there's one that we'll never guess. I'm curious if you will get what you think of this one. But first, let's start with the obvious layers of trust. One, there's competence. Do you know what you're doing? Everyone assumes this is the key to trust. You know what you're doing. But think about the most brilliant or talented person you know in different categories. The one who's clearly qualified. Are they the ones that got the career dream, a center stage, the corner office? Maybe, but not necessarily. The answer is sometimes, if not often, no. That's because competence can get you respect, but not necessarily trust. Another two, character. This is, are you who you say you are? Some people use the term authenticity. People trust people who are consistent, not perfect, consistent, predictable. Think of someone who doesn't sugarcoat. They just tell you the way it is. So you always know. You may not always like what they say, but you believe them because they are the same on or off stage. That's character. And it's really the foundation for stability. And that stability breeds trust. Number three, clarity. This is, can I follow you without confusion or fear? We often ignore this one. When a message is confusing to us, when we don't understand, our brain shortcuts it to just like turning it off, forgetting about it, walking away. People just don't trust what they don't understand. Bottom line. So if your message is foggy, if it's constantly shifting, overcomplicating things, which I have tended to do and I work on that, that's something I have to work on very, very hard, over-explaining, people won't follow you. Not because you're wrong, because they don't feel safe. Uncertainty kills trust, even if you're a genius. Now for the real engine of trust. Here's the truth. None of these, not competence, not character, not clarity, fully explain why we trust someone, because the human layer is harder to measure. The most underrated and most valuable layer is something called benevolence, which is the belief that someone has your best interest at heart. It's why, let's say you need to take a medication and you're not sure about it, and the doctor prescribes it for you and you're really not sure, so you start asking around, you ask your family and friends, and a couple of your good friends or family members say, I would seek a few other opinions, or try this or try that instead. They might have no medical experience or degree, but you trust that they have your best interest at heart. Their motive is for you to have the best outcome. So you are more likely to then trust them over the first medical person's advice. This is why you will skip the 5-star expert review on a restaurant, but trust your friend's recommendation. And even though that there's only two stars, say, we had a great experience, it's one of our favorite restaurants. And so you're like, I'm gonna go. That's benevolence. And that overrides credentials every single time, for the most part. I mean, there's always an exception to the rule, but that's, I would say, the rule. So if you don't have the title or the track record or the credibility or whatever it is, even if you do, start with benevolence. Ask more than you explain. Be honest about what you don't know. And show people you're not just trying to win. You're trying to help. When people believe you are for them, not just about you, that's relationship capital. It's the most valuable asset in leadership and influence. So you can be talented and smart and brilliant and admired, but not influential. But benevolence, that's what makes people lean in, and that's what makes them stay. It's a layer that no one talks about and one that builds the most trust. And next week on the channel and on my newsletter, we are switching from trust to clarity, and why branding won't necessarily make you a leader, but having a real point of view just might. If you're building a voice trust, this next episode is a must. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel, my weekly newsletter, which is more like the most fun thing that I write every week. I swear, there's no sales. It's not spam. It's just weekly insights on influence, how to get it, how to retain it, spot it. Until then, don't try to impress. Just try to be someone people feel safe believing. All right, subscribe, leave your comments below. See you next year. See you back here next time.